Y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, go ahead subscribe, man. Go ahead like this video, put on the little bell, all that good stuff, man. Look, let's go ahead and get right to the video, man. If you struggling to get some legendary weapons like how I am, how my homeboy is, how other people play with, etc. are, most people, not these big YouTubers that just sit on the game all day, you struggling to get legendary weapons like us, normal people. Look, I got some weapon combo for you, alright? I got the weapon combos for you. Look, let me go ahead and go to the stash so you'll be able to see my stuff, alright? It's this one right here, okay? What you want to do, it's quite simple. We're going to go for the Storm Whip. And we're going to go for Death Chains. Now on this, yes, I do have Ultimate Storm Whip. Okay? Now that's a legendary perk. Trey, your video says no legendary or non-legendary perk. But it's a thing though. Let's go ahead and take this out. And let's go to the good old doctor. If I can find him. Oh, he over there. So I'm in a different area trying to do the bounties and whatnot, trying to guarantee legendaries. If you want to know about Garrison Legendaries, check out my other video. I have it already up. It's posted as a stream. I was going ahead doing all the bounties and hunts and etc. So let's go ahead, go back to the same weapon. Alright, now you see when we have good attributes. That's one of the reasons why I took this weapon off and I switched it for this. This is a really good one. And shots during your health, good for survivability. And then we go Ultimate Storm Whip again. Now I have Ultimate Storm from that because it technically does the most perk damage. It's not a legendary perk. I don't have many legendary perks, so I'm struggling. And in this one I have a whole bleed one because this is a devastator character, and I did my build so I do more damage to bleed enemies that are bled. So spawn shrapnel, amazing perk. The shots inflict bleed, good perk as well. Plus bleed heals me, so it just survivability. Let's go to my gear. Let's go tier 2, get a little boost in it. And what do we see here? Oh! Is this Storm Whip? But it says Ultimate Storm Whip over there. This is Storm Whip. What's the difference? I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Only difference is 2-second cooldown with the tier 2 perk, but if you go to tier 3 over here, it's right here. But since I have it on, you can't really see it. It's on 1-second cooldown. Now that makes it that much better, but this, out of all these perks, as you see, I have them all. So I've done tests, gone through each and every one, what does the most damage, etc. Right? This, it will give you a noticeable difference in how much damage you are doing. And with this weapon in particular, I got this weapon as soon, right on the end of me completing the story, and I leveled it up to where it is now, level 44. I can level up higher, like 46, something like that. But yeah, it is what it is. And I don't use that much. This is my old reliable. One, because that's a skill life leech here. 2, heal and receive, which I didn't realize how major that was until I took this weapon off and used something else. Because this kept me alive through stuff that I shouldn't be surviving, if I'm being honest. Skill life leech is just a, icing on the cake. Like, that was a lot. But Death Chains, if you don't know about Death Chains hit hard. Okay, 2-second cooldown. It does a crap ton of damage. It's one of the higher. I believe it's actually one of the highest, like, tier 2 damage perks in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Death Chain does crap load of damage. Like, if you want something, get Death Chains. You want a non-legendary perk, get Death Chains. Try to find Death Chains on some, either, dismantle that, salvage it, whatever you want to call it. And so you can put on other stuff, or keep it and mod it out like how I did with this one here. This, now if you get a tactical rifle, oh my goodness, it works so much better. Just the damage is phenomenal, especially with the base damage. Anyways, the Death Chains, amazing. Storm Whip, amazing. Now Trey, I don't have Storm Whip. Or hey, I don't have Death Chains, but I have Storm Whip. That's when we come over here. Go ahead and get Claymore. This does an anomaly blade damage. Now with anomaly blade damage, it goes as it says, anomaly damage. So it will do anomaly damage, which if you don't know how anomaly damage affects enemies' armors and whatnot, let's just say it's gonna slap them. Let's put it like that. It's gonna slap them. So when they got the little what is it called? I forgot what exactly it's called, but it's a little shield, right? Little yellow shield. You see a lot of good captains, enemies of that nature, right? Have Claymore or use one of your abilities that does anomaly damage. Slaps them. Same general concept here. That's what I first used at first, because I didn't have Storm Whip here. I had Claymore here, and I had Death Chains. But as you see, God, oh my goodness, Claymore at this level does way more damage than Ultimate Storm. That's a legendary perk. Trey, why would you use that? Well, once again, we gotta take in consideration the cooldown times of this, y'all. Cooldown times, okay? So we got this with 2 seconds. So it does 20,000 damage. Let's say it does 10,000 damage a second. Okay, let's just say that. This takes 4 seconds, and it's not even 40,000 damage. So it does less than 10,000 per second if you parse it out and do your per second type damage. Okay, so you're gonna lose out on damage. You're not maximizing your damage as much as you would if you do Storm Whip only. Okay, but if you don't have Storm Whip, go Claymore. Okay. Definitely get Death Chains down here. Definitely get that. That's a must. That's almost a must. Okay. If you want to maximize it, I would say one of the two, either Claymore or Storm Whip. If you don't have, let's say you have one of these three, you don't have the other, go ahead, go up here to the vulnerable bullets. Vulnerable bullets, they used to, what was it? It was like 25% damage increase to enemies that you would do to them. I think now it got nerfed to 15%, but do not quote me on that. But I think now it's at 15%, which is still good. And then some of y'all might be asking, Trey, why would I, what? If it's at 15%, why would I not just pick the vulnerable bullets over this Storm Whip shenanigans? But look, y'all not listening. 15%. 15% of 100 is only 15. When this, I'm doing 20,000 every 2 seconds. Or 36,000 and some change every 4 seconds. Even the base damage over here is 2816. 15% of that, or let's do 15% of this. It's not gonna stack up the same way. Okay, let's even take, okay, let's take firepower. Let's take this base damage stat and let's take Death Chains all into the mix. Then you're starting to get in the general ballpark, but you're much better off with just going with this, because this cooldown right here is not the greatest. Now if you have the tier 3 vulnerable ones where every second you're able to, put out more vulnerable bullets and inflict more enemies with it, that'll be better. But hey, this is a non-legendary type of thing, okay? So with that said, y'all, that is really it for this video. You really want to focus on Death Chains and Storm Whip as your holy combo, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what y'all call it nowadays, but that's what it is, okay? If you don't have Storm Whip, go Claymore and Death Chains. Now if you don't have Claymore or Storm Whip, go Vulnerable Bullets and Death Chains, okay? Now let's say for some reason you don't have any of that. You can do how most people would like to do and do the damage link, or one of my favorites is this Bone Sharpener. The Bone Sharpener, as you see, has a 1 second cooldown, and it does almost like a little bit higher damage than Death Chains. So if you got a lot of trash enemies around, like all them little, like I call them dogs, but them little monsters that, you know, run on all fours, things like that, you know, the people that run up on you with the knives and stuff like that, you know, just the normal riflemen and things of that nature, you can kill them real quick, especially if you're next to someone who actually hits hard. Kill them, let bone shrapnel proc, and get extra damage out of it. I would say do that with death chain so you can start melting them down. Yeah, this, it don't really hit like it should. I tried it. A lot of these other ones don't really hit. Now, if you do have, like how, for example, I have mine, like this is one of my higher damaging rifles here. I like the assault rifle tactical variant. That's just me. The damage per bullet is phenomenal. So it's really that. And I use the automatic narrow variant of the shotgun, or I just use the one shot rifle. See, that one has doesn't clip combustion, vulnerable, bone shrapnel, you know, just variety over here. I haven't done anything that one yet. See this, then they nerfed it. Yeah. But yeah. If you have a build like how I do, a lot of my damage, well, not a lot of my damage, I get increased damage like by 40%. Enemies that do bleed, so that can greatly help me on this. So that's why I use things after this. But then on this, I use Ultimate Storm Whip, because technically, Ultimate Storm Whip, if you run the numbers, which I have, I mean, if you don't trust me, you run numbers yourself. But Ultimate Storm Whip does, you know, pound for pound, slightly more damage per second, like if you were over the course of like an expedition or whatever the case, per second more damage than death chains, which is why I use Ultimate Storm Whip. Now if you go normal Storm Whip, that's where you get into little gray areas and whatnot, and you could use death chains, or you could just go ahead and use normal Storm Whip. I'll probably advise you use more death chains than Storm Whip though, but I would definitely say if you have Ultimate Storm Whip, go ahead, slap that bad boy on here. Death chain's phenomenal perk. I mean, normally, if I'm being honest, when I was running with this one here, and I had both of these on, and even I even had Ultimate Storm Whip on at that, death chains a lot of the time came out on top. So I would definitely not sleep on the death chains. Make that a priority. Try to farm that out, whether it be bounties, expedition, hunts, historian missions, whatever case may be. Try to find something with death chains so you can go ahead and get that perk. Yeah, y'all. That's about it for the video, y'all. I just want to let y'all know, because I know there's some people I run with and whatnot, they slacking on damage. I'm trying to be a little blunt. Slacking on damage, man. I'm a Devastator, and I think every time I ran with anybody on anything, I've been #1 on damage. Now look, if you want to know what I'm rocking, we can go into that too. That's a whole nother video that's about to come up right after this video. But hey, don't sleep on this perk combination, y'all. Do not sleep on it. Even it could potentially be better than some other perk combinations, but you know, like Fortress and what is it, Shadow Comets, things that nature. It's not better than that. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it any type of way. It's not. It's just not. But if you having trouble like how I am getting those legendaries, getting those perks, use this here. Use death chains with Storm Whip, death chains Claymore, vulnerability if you don't have Storm Whip or Claymore. Okay, use a combination of those, what, 4 perks. Any combination of those will be your best bet in the tier 2 section, so you have the minimal cooldowns. Okay, without further ado, y'all, it's your boy Trey TJ, and I'm out. Shalom.